Hi, Frankie. How are
Hi,
you?
Selma. I'm good. How are you? It's so good to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, great to see you, and welcome to the Pick Up the Flow podcast now.
Thank
uh,
you. Thanks for having me. Iconic
yeah,
podcast.
thank you so much for being with me today. And yeah, before we start, for those who may not be familiar with your work, can you introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Frankie Decaiza Hutchinson. I'm the founder of Dweller, also founder of Discwoman, which is now kind of, I mean, deceased might be a little harsh, but defunct. But that's how we know each other as well. So it's nice to have that history with you too. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and as everyone knows, tomorrow the Dweller Festival will start, and it runs from February 17th to the 22nd this year. So, can you tell us what is Dweller and how did the project first came to life? And what also what sparked the project, like the idea behind it?
For sure. So Dweller's first year was 2019. I was working as a booker for Bossa Nova Civic Club. Um, for those who don't know, it's a techno hub, a small club in Bushwick that I think a lot of people's careers spawned from. Actually, um, yeah, it was a great place for music people to connect, and it was in its peak, really, really, really an important space, and still remains that to this day. But yeah, we did a 6 day festival there. It kind of, I mean, I think since starting with Discwoman and then kind of learning more about the kind of origins of techno and house music, it left me feeling like I'd been scammed in some way. Like, oh, this genre is created by my people, and then I felt like I wanted to like get on a pulpit and tell everybody about that. So, having the keys to a club and having this kind of urge in me, it seemed like the combination was it was inevitable that something like that was going to happen. However, I will say that Ash Lorin had approached me the November of 2018, basically saying I wanted to do a night for Black History Month, just me and Olive T like playing, and I was like, oh, interesting, why don't we just make a week of it? So we made a whole week of events at Bossa that were just Black artists. And yeah, the name Dweller came from the Drexciya Records, Journey of the Deep Sea Dwellers.
Mhm.
And that's where it kind of spawned from. And then from there, it was, a great success. It was, so tiny, but like really, really cute. And I wish I could kind of relive those early days where things were a lot easier. um, and then, I think it kind of just organically was like, we can expand this and maybe introduce another venue. So I think the next year we had Nowadays join and do a couple nights, and then it just kind of expanded from there. And then it's like this is like a multi-festival, week long event where we can engage loads of people in the city and really create like a pulse around Black artists during Black History Month.
Yeah, yeah, I remember particularly a night at Nowadays. I mean, but I remember one. It was like after COVID, after the pandemic, and
Hmm.
it was just so euphoric to like see
Right,
everyone
exactly.
together. And
Yeah.
yeah, do you have like a favorite memory at Dweller?
Wow, that's a good one. Um, I think DJ Assault in 2020. 2020, maybe it was pretty insane. That was crazy. I would say Koki dubstep last year really stood out for me. Um, OK Williams at Nowadays was really crazy. Also Thea Parrish too.
Yeah.
Mike Banks coming to kind of talk to people and just like kind of doing that really last minute, like that was crazy. Jeff Mills, obviously, coming and talking to everybody was also great. Um, so yeah, I mean, our collaboration with the rapper Mike has been just like a really great surprise in this whole process, and like our yeah, creative connection has been really really cool. I mean, there's so many components. I think Bossa in
Mhm.
its entirety being this kind of heartbeat of the whole thing, like it's just so important. So I always love our opening nights, and I'm so excited for this Parker on Wednesday. Um, so yeah, it's there are too many memories, and I also don't see everything. So there's probably lots of shit I've missed. That was great. I know I missed out on the Chris Jones and Tim Reaper night. Apparently, that was amazing. DJ Slink at Bossa was also insane. You know, these are the FOMO
Wow.
moments. So yeah, many, many, many.
Yeah, so because last year you took a 1 year break, and I feel like now people are very excited. Like the anticipation is high for this edition. What can the audiences expect this year?
What I'm like, what can they expect? I'm like,
Like,
you know what I got caught up in is like when you said the anticipation side, it's like my blood pressure
yeah.
rises, and I'm like,
Oh no
fuck.
no 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 no!
No, it's not
Forget.
your fault at all, but it's just like the nature of it. I just have, I
Yeah,
really want to meet people's expectations and like having a good time. So I can definitely get
yeah,
wrapped up in my own thoughts sometimes when asking a question like this. But in
yeah,
all honesty, like as soon as people kind of get together, and I think this has kind of happened every year, it kind of just unlocks the spirit of it. And once it starts, I'm like basically having a good time. It's like on its way.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
I'm hoping people can expect a lot of connectivity, a lot of amazing musical moments. Obviously, hopefully they enjoy the music. But yeah, I think we are. The theme of this year was to um, connect dots with Black artists across America and across the world. This has been our most global edition yet. I mean, we have an
Hmm.
artist from Brazil, Tanzania, Portugal, Netherlands, UK, France, obviously the US, Canada. Like, it's like, there's just, there's loads of people. So that kind of is what the globe logo is kind of representing.
Yeah,
This kind
yeah.
of,
It's really
yeah,
yeah,
interconnected black network that you know we own. So there's something really radical feeling about that. So hopefully people can really feel that.
yeah. Also, like the logo this year, like what I also love about Dweller is like every year you have this like a new like a art direction and this new
Yeah,
like visual and aesthetic. And this year, like you say, it's the globe. And also the website is so cool. Like I love like how it's so functional. It's
yeah,
like people can go and like every time they hover on like artists, it just shows the whole like night. Like it's really well
right.
made. So yeah, I wanted to talk about like your collaboration with Hassan Rahim and his
Yeah, for
um
sure. I mean, Hassan, I reached out to for the 2020 edition. You can see a sharp difference in our graphic design from the first Dweller to the next one. um, you know, God bless my lovely friend Tyler Jones, who did the first ever Dweller flyer. She did it on a last minute request of mine for free. And the next year, I was like, it's probably important for us to kind of elevate the visual identity of the festival. And that's what happened in 2020. And then from there, like Hassan and I, you know, we just are quite creatively like intertwined and kind of, I think, really share a vision. So it's amazing to have a collaborator like that. And then we had an artist called Brian Wells reach out to us, and he does incredible work. He built the whole site this year.
Wow.
And that's how he knows how to do that stuff. He also built our blog site too, along with
Oh,
another artist
nice.
called David Lee.
Oh,
So
yeah,
the
David.
globe,
Yeah.
yeah, the globe was created by Brian, David, and Hassan. They all made that. And they actually made that, I think maybe last year or the year before. But this year we've been able to incorporate it into the theme and everything
Hmm.
else. So the visual identity was a project between all of those guys, but Hassan and Brian have made all the assets for this year. But yeah, I mean, the site was like a complete surprise to me. It was like Brian was like, "Oh, I built this thing," and I was like, "Wow!" Like never ever even expected somebody to do something like that, you know. And um, you know, we're not paying people fees. Like people are doing stuff because they feel passionate about it, which shouldn't really be enough. You want it to want these people to be paid big bucks and dollars, but it's just I'm just so grateful to find such incredible artists who are also just like so invested in Dweller and what we're building. But yeah, it is very moving to me to have something so gorgeous. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I like, from where we started to now, it's really, really nuts, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you have the right energy at the right place, and everyone kind of like tune in into the same frequency. So everyone,
Right.
it's like everyone is on the
Exactly.
same wavelength. Like
Exactly.
it's
And
not
literally,
about
like
money or whatever.
our radio broadcast is literally started now, and it's on the
Whoa.
site, so you can actually tune into the frequency.
Oh, wow. So
So
I'll add the website on the
so yeah,
description.
you can add exactly. So there's a
Nice.
radio broadcast today. So you can literally tune into the frequency. I don't know if it will still be up by the time you post this, but it happened. But yeah, so that's been cool too. Yeah.
And you mentioned the blog, so it's like a resource of like writings from Black perspectives, but also you have like
Exactly. Yeah.
a library. Can you talk about it?
Yeah, for sure. So Ryan Clark, who approached me at the 2020 Dweller, he is from Louisiana, New Orleans, and he wanted to do a more educational component of it. And I was like, sure, email me, whatever. And I didn't realize that he's like, got an insane mind, just really expansive and well researched and passionate. All of that is really him,
Mhm.
honestly. The library is him. All the literature is stuff that he's read. Like that, I'm nowhere near as well read as he is, and so it's really great having that perspective and strength in our team too. Uh, so it's given us a lot more credibility. So it's really cool. People think I'm really smart, so that's cool. So yeah, it's really it's been a great resource. Yeah. But yeah, all those, all of his recent interviews, like that's him, his research. So yeah, that's the component he's been pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's really amazing. It's
yeah,
like, and it's nice that it's like ongoing. So it's like this
yeah.
discussion that's happening, and I'll include it as well in the description if any of the listeners want to dive into the
Oh,
resource.
sweet.
And yeah, I'm also curious about, like it's been now 6 years, right? Over
This is the 6 years.
six.
Over 8 years. Yeah, I think
And
because 2 years we had off. No, yeah, 2 years we had off. Yeah.
and yeah, I'm really curious because what started as this like, very organic idea now is this like excited. I feel like everyone is in New York is excited about Dweller every year when that happens. But I wanted to know like what have been some of the biggest challenges that you faced building Dweller.
Um. Okay. There are a few. I'd say on a personal level is managing my own anxiety, mental health, my expectations for myself, and all that kind of internal turmoil that comes with this kind of thing. There's that. um, and there's also, the material sort of infrastructure of Dweller, and how do we pay ourselves for the work we're doing. I mean, this is kind of a full-time job during the year. We meet weekly. It's like there's no, we took a year off to try and kind of explore those kind of methods. um, we had some results, uh, and some really valuable like help, uh, and assistance and advice and all these kinds of things. But I think we're still yet to arrive at what is the best fit for us. I think we're just fearful of compromising anything. Um, what does it mean to take money from here or there or X, Y, Z? What happens to the project? Is it going to change dramatically? Like, because you've also seen that happen to things, Um, so you're kind of living in this kind of purgatory, I guess, of not knowing what the best thing to do is. Um, so that's obviously a struggle. Another struggle is the kind of, the expansiveness of the festival itself. Like, how much bigger do we grow? And obviously, with every year, more people are attracted to play the festival and be involved. And, this being one of the unique places that platforms black DJs want to play. I mean, for the most part, I'm not sure if all of them do, but and they want the opportunity to do so. So how do we make sure everybody feels involved and included, while also kind of holding a strong like curatorial view on what music we like? We don't want to just we want to have a point of view, and, we want to book things that fit our taste as well. But we also like, taste is part of the booking process, but it's also like recognizing what some black artists and black folks put into the scene, and how much they champion and do work for probably very little money because they just believe it and are passionate about it, and us wanting to platform that too. So yeah, I mean, the expansiveness of it is, an ongoing question and stress, and wanting to people to feel included and not sidelined by another festival, because I think that's how black artists can feel in the grander festival market, is that it's so hard to get on a bill. And with Dweller, oh my god, it's so hard to even get on this bill, and it's just for black DJs. Like, like I don't want to create that, add to that tension of like scarcity of spots for black artists, and that's kind of what it crosses my mind. So yeah, it's definitely something that maybe goes back to my own internal stress. I'm not sure how much people
Yeah.
even think what I'm saying, but it's something that I think about.
Yeah, and is it like so? Like, let's say at the end of Duel, like, when do you start like your curatorial process? Like, is it like an ongoing,
Yeah,
like
it's an
when?
ongoing
Yeah,
thing. Yeah.
an ongoing thing. Okay.
I think I'd say there are artists that like we really, really want to book, that we've engaged in some way, but it's never been the right time. Um, but some of them have come into fruition. Like this year, like More Mother was somebody that we tried to book like every year, and finally we managed to align. So there's ideas that are kind of are constantly like happening, and that we try for, but you know, but we always refresh the palette. But honestly, like with some of the more in demand acts, I would say you have to kind of start scheduling them like now, because some of these people, they have tours planned like already for the next year. So, but it's like kind of counterintuitive to the way that we work. So,
Yeah.
by the time we're ready to like start writing emails, certain artists are already like, we've already like planned the whole of 2027. And I'm like, oh, you're so annoying. But, so I don't really want to work in this like really ahead kind of way. Um, but maybe with some people we'll start. But yeah, and also like we also appreciate people reaching out to us as well. Like I like it when people are like, I want to play Dweller. Like that's really cool to me.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and I try to respond to those emails as much as I can. And kind of always want to find a place for people who are really proactive in that way. Can't always do that, but when people are like wanting it, it's great. Like I don't want to be like chasing artists who aren't really kind of responding to what we're doing, even if we want them to play. So we don't want to be out there begging. We want people who are interested. I think that also is what creates the vibe of the festival.
Yeah, I remember reading an interview of you, and you mentioned that there were no template for Discwoman for anything you've done, Dweller, and
Hmm.
you say we have to create the framework ourselves. And I
Hmm.
found it very, it's like so, yeah, inspiring because I mean, before Dweller, you also like were like you fought the racist cabaret law in New York,
Hmm.
which is insane. Like no one, no one. Like it's crazy that that law was still
Yeah,
happening in New York, and no one did anything about it. But yeah, you uh, also co-founded Discwoman, and at the time it was very important because
yeah,
men were dominating the industry. So yeah, I'm really curious about your approach to like when you start a project, do you have to be um is social justice like you need it has to speak to you in order for you to be part of it, or
yeah, for sure. I mean,
yeah.
the cabaret law was really insane. I mean, it's the only time I think I ever brushed shoulders with like local politicians in this way. But yeah, that was a funny time. But that was also like directly after Trump's first election, and I think there was this kind of sense of the first real sense of doom. I mean, I'm sure there's been many before that, but like it was really quite a seismic shift for all of us, because I think a lot of people didn't expect that to happen. So um,
It was
it
in
was like,
2017, right? No.
Yeah, he got elected
Yeah.
in 2016, but inauguration was 2017, and then we started campaigning against the campaigning against the Caballero law like in 2017 in like January. We were like, we gotta do something. Let's hit Trump where it hurts and feel the Caballero law.
Yeah.
So that was very motivating, just to feel a sense of power, but also like the law. So it was a combination of that, but also the law being so ridiculous that it's like,
Yeah.
how is it still here? It doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
it actually just took off quite quickly, and we managed to achieve it faster than I think we thought we would. So that was cool. And yeah, I mean, social justice. It's like I think the work that I've been a part of has been really beneficial to people who are, more marginalized in these scenes, etc. It's like I don't want to overinflate the work to seem like it's,
Mm.
I don't know, there's so many levels to how people are struggling in this world and
Yeah.
country, and putting women DJs on is an important part of it, but I wouldn't describe it as like social justice work necessarily, but maybe other people would. I think I just makes me feel a bit like,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like, well, not to minimize it either, because it is and was really important, and I'm very proud of that work too. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a piece of the puzzle, and also symptomatic of like much deeper entrenched issues of like misogyny and gender violence
Mhm.
and all these kinds of things, that are, um, yeah, a lot more serious than maybe how we were doing things. But that's not to try to diminish it. It's just like I tried to see it as part of a bigger issue in
Mm.
the world. And the same goes with Dweller too. But these creating these like little pockets of like uh, spaces for women, black people, whatever, is really important in a world that is so oppressive as well. So I think it's nice to be able to offer some sort of light within all of this. Um, whether I think it's transforming the world, I don't know. But hopefully it will transform someone's day during Dweller.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, like you said, like giving people the opportunity to just express their vision is just so, like,
right,
not that many people give you the platform, so then yeah, then they can do it and inspire other people. So it's like a chain, and I feel
exactly.
like it's so important beyond like arts. You know what I mean? Like it's like giving keys. Yeah. But also, I wanted to ask you, um, if you had to do it all again, like what advice would you give to your younger self? Like now that you know.
I'd be like, not do it. No, actually, I don't know if I would change anything. Like,
Yeah.
I really admire some of my naivety as a younger person going into this, and that's kind of what propelled me. I was really driven, um, especially when it came to Discwoman, kind of just like locking in and everything making sense. It was just like there was nothing that was going to stop me and us as a crew, and it just became really clear. What we were doing. Um, and it was just such a surprise as well. But Bossa was the kind of hub of all these people that I was like, yeah, okay, let's. It was so exciting. Um,
Yeah.
it was a very very exciting time in that peak. And then Dweller. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I would have done differently. If I was going to say in my whole life, if there was anything I would have done differently, I wish I was I wish I was doing stuff in film and not music sometimes. Um, so that's kind of my other fantasy is how do I kind of become, you know, a screenwriter or a film director or like a
Yeah.
critic or anything connected to film because I love it so much. So that's my other dream. My other dream is also to be a sommelier. So
Oh wow,
how you say
nice.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to love to know more about wine and travel the world. So those are my other dreams. If I could do it all over differently, I'd maybe explore those career paths. But in what I've done, I mean, I think I really rocked it.
Yeah. And is it like so? What advice would you give to younger people who want to get into creating their own, project and platforms? Or
Um, I would say that you have. I think you should really listen to yourself first and foremost. Like when we first started Discwoman, there were definitely people who thought it was stupid and silly and would say that to me. So imagine listening to that person and then me and us not creating something like we did. It's like think it just I hate sort of the cheesy expression, but really stick to your gut. And also like you have to be sort of persistent and it does take some perseverance to stick it out. And just have a really strong point of view. Like, what is it that you're trying to say? What are you trying to communicate? I think that's when it comes to kind of a collective or an action of some kind or creating a festival or space. I mean, as an artist,
mhm,
like, you just gotta keep creating and doing it, doing what you love. It's only that simple. I mean, it sounds simple. I don't even make music, so or DJ.
mhm,
I'm like, just keep on doing it. Um, but yeah, you know, I've seen people shy away because they're so scared of the failure of it.
mhm,
Is very real and understandable. But you really never know who's listening and who's connecting with what you put out. And sometimes you can get some very meaningful feedback, even if it's not even like going out to a really large audience or something. But just that communication of art and the way people respond to it, like
mhm,
even in a small way, can be such a powerful way to live your life. Um,
mhm.
so yeah,
Yeah,
produce.
I love it.
Plant
Yeah,
seeds. What other great metaphors, for this kind of thing? Yeah,
yeah.
I can't think of
Especially in
any.
New York, I feel like also like dwellers happening. People should just go. Like if you're in music,
Yeah,
go get
exactly.
inspiration, meet people, and
Yeah,
like you said, like yeah, um, we need to be in the movement because like sometimes
yeah,
I think people are in their head and we're like it can be hard to uh, make a decision
precisely.
or yeah.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
thank you so much, Frankie, for your
Of
time. This was
course.
awesome.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really
Um,
appreciate your time
yeah,
and
me
the
too. I
work that
really
you do on this podcast.
thank
It's
you so
great.
much,
Of
Frankie.
course. Of course.